This form right here is pretty extreme. Like, he is very technical, but almost like over the top. His legs are coming up so high that it's too high. You're working against yourself at this point. Hey GQ, I'm Allyson Felix, and this is The Breakdown. First up, Forrest Gump. So right off, this is not like what you really want to be wearing when you're running. It's gonna be restrictive. This is actually, obviously, street clothes. Anytime you're gonna run for a really long period of time, you wanna make sure that your shoe is comfortable, has the right amount of cushion, the right amount of support, and it's pretty light.
That day, for no particular reason, I decided to go for a little run.
So this is actually like not horrible running technique. His arms are actually like swinging very nicely. Good arm form when you're sprinting is really pumping hard. You know, you really have a nice swing going and it's very frequent. Typically you can't hold that type of form for much more than 400 meters. It's unrealistic that he would be able to be going for any real distance with that form. It is a bit unique because it looks like his chest is really poked out forward, and so there's not really much of an angle. Typically when you're running and at that speed, you want to kind of be angled and have some momentum going forward. If you are trying to go as fast as possible, you want to have like kind of a forward lean. If you're sprinting, you know, you really want to be on the ball of your foot. It's hard to be able to sustain that over time, so if you're running for a longer distance, more into the middle of your foot is fine. You know, you do want to kind of get up as much as you can, but realizing that, you know, you need to be in a comfortable position to be able to handle the mileage that you're putting in.
And when I got there, I thought maybe I'd just run across Greenbow County.
So at this point, the form has really broken down and you kind of see his arms are kind of flailing around. That's typical when you're tired and when you've been running for quite some time. When you're really formed up and everything is like perfect, you're typically sprinting and you're not able to do that for a long period of time.
And so you just ran.
Yeah.
This is really typical, I guess, of what you would see of someone who's been running for a really, really long distance in time. You know, you're kind of in a more relaxed position and your arms aren't really pumping very much. You're kind of just doing what you can to get by and to be as efficient as possible. He's kind of got a nice cadence going, a nice swing going, and he's moving nicely. Next up, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. This form right here is pretty extreme. Like, he is very technical, but almost like over the top. His legs are coming up so high that it's too high. You're working against yourself at this point. Everything is just over exaggerated. His arms are almost pumping too fast and too quickly where it's like, it's counterproductive. This is also very unrealistic. You wouldn't be able to hold this speed in this form for this long. 100 meters, maybe 200 meters, you could hold, you know, this type of speed, but it would have completely broken down and fallen apart. His head was extremely stable. Everything seemed to be, you know, almost like a bit exaggerated. You can have some movement, but you just don't want to be bobbling all over because it's wasted energy. So you really want to be efficient. You really want to kind of lock into a target and really hold it there. Yeah, the conditions that he's running in are awful. You would not be able to keep up that speed, that form with him, let alone probably be able to see where you're going. Weather definitely affects your running, especially for sprinters. The hotter the weather, the better result you'll have. It's easier for your muscles to warm up. The longer distance you go, athletes really like the cooler temperatures because you're really out in the elements, you're feeling it more. But I love running in the heat. I love hot, humid weather. For me, it just feels like it's perfect conditions to run fast. But everything affects running, you know, the wind, how much wind is at your back, or if you're running into wind, if it's raining, you know, all these conditions, because we are competing outdoors, it can all have an effect on your performance. Typically, races don't get canceled unless there's lightning, hard rain, and powerful winds. There might be a wind reading after the race, and there's certain winds that are over the allowable for record purposes or for times to count. We run in rain, people have ran in snow. It's just really once it becomes dangerous with lightning where stuff is canceled. I'm really conscious of my breathing. In sprints, it can be easy to kind of hold your breath. It's really an intense thing. There are a lot of nerves going. It can be easy to forget to breathe. So just really being conscious that I'm taking enough breaths and really getting that air in. Next up, race. So at this point, he's just entering the stadium, really taking in that enormous crowd, and all of those kind of external circumstances can definitely really affect performance for sure. It is, incredible walking into an Olympic event. I always recall the flashes of the lights from the cameras, pops and flashes everywhere. It's a feeling like no other, it's a stage like no other. I always get nervous, really no matter how small or big the race is, but on the Olympic stage, there's no doubt that there's some butterflies. It's all about channeling that energy in the correct way. I like to visualize leading up to a race. My coach definitely puts us through different exercises and training and just switching things up and dealing with outside circumstances and distractions, making sure that we're kind of ready for any scenario. And I think experience also just really helps with that mental toughness. He's actually digging into the ground. This is a time period where they didn't have starting blocks. He's making little divots in the actual dirt where he's running to essentially make starting blocks, something for his feet to be able to push off of and to be able to get out. Today, we don't have to worry about things like this, but that's what he's doing, is giving his feet something to be anchored on. So you see here when they're starting and they get in the starting position and their head is completely focused forward, this is actually not how you start. So when you start, you want to have your head down. You're not looking forward. A lot of times you'll see this in film because you can't see someone's face if it's completely down. For me, the start is always a challenge. It's often that I don't get a good start. I'm strongest in the latter points of my races, so I'm always looking for that perfect start. His form is great. It's very authentic to the way that Jesse Owens ran. You can tell that the form was studied. It's very much that classic way that he ran. Obviously, it was very effective and really great form. In some of the distance races, there's really that strategic planning. Are you a front runner, or do you like to sit back and make your move at the end? In the sprints that I participate in, it's all about the entire race. And so you really want to jump on it from the front. You want to get a good start. You want to execute that. And you want to all out sprint and, get to that finish line first. You're not playing around with it. You want to take it from the gun.
Mariani hands off to Metcalf.
Black Americans, there's such a rich heritage in track and field. I think about it all the time, and just the representation when I go out there that, young girls and young boys are watching, and whether they're inspired to run or to do whatever, anything, I hope that they're inspired to be great at it. I really feel there are so many people who have paved the way in order for me to have success and for those after me. It's a very rich history. Next up, get out. So first off in this clip, we see it's pitch dark, and that's challenge number one. Running in the dark with no apparent lights around would be really hard and really scary to me. So far, the form is pretty good. It's very powerful. You see the knees are really coming up high, arms are really moving. It's a very quick sprint, and it looks very intense. It really depends on your leg length and kind of the ratio with your torso, but you want to have high knees. So whatever to a comfort level, but almost hip height, if you can really get them up that high, that's really going to be most beneficial. The turn is really unrealistic. You couldn't be going at that speed and make that sharp of a turn. If you think about athletes running on a track, it's a gradual turn. It's for a reason, your body cannot just maneuver in that way without getting hurt or, something happening. So it's unrealistic, but looks pretty cool. Next up, Rocky 2. I really love his form here. It's very like authentic to, you know, a runner who's going to be running for some distance. You know, obviously he's a boxer and so he's out for a longer run. I think it's like very suited for his body and very natural. Here you can see like he starts to pick up speed and he's kind of like jerking a little bit, and that can happen sometimes when you go from a slower speed into like a sprint, and especially after you've been running for a while. So technique is a little, you know, unstable, but it kind of makes sense for what's happening. So he just took some hurdles over these benches, and the first one was like a little sloppy, a little unstable, but actually the second one looked like okay. I mean, I'm not a hurdle expert. Yeah, he's getting over the barriers pretty good. So now he's in a full out sprint. His legs look pretty good. They're coming up high. His arms are kind of crossing over his body, and so he's like kind of fighting himself. He would be able to go a lot faster if he had a forward motion with his arms instead of kind of, you know, fighting across himself. But yeah, he's full out in a sprint at this point. I run on pavement sometimes. I try to do it as least as possible. I try to stay away from anything that will flare up joints or shins, any of those kind of problem areas. So if I can run on a soft surface like grass, it's great. And then the majority of the time I'm on a track. All right, that's it. Thanks so much for watching these clips with me. See you next time.